Hi, this is Mia. This is a weird thing to say. Um, I did this job where I don't know if it's like what a call girl really is. Okay, so I don't want to put labels. Basically, I danced for somebody, did a massage, and left. And that's it. And it was like time my time was compensated, and it was legal. It was through a legitimate agency, and I did it once. And then I got married to an abusive guy. Like, people would say, "Oh my god!" So if this destroys my life, um, I don't know what to say. But there was no sex, no prostitution. Um, like, doesn't matter about sex, but it wasn't illegal, anything illegal. It was through a reputable, real, legitimate company, and I basically kind of like when you're a therapist or a counselor, you're helping somebody that needs help that day, um, and it's my I don't know if it's up here or not. I have a binder from the 90s. I'll get up and get it and show it to you. I can see it over on the shelf. And I bought this as a client binder because I wanted to look professional. Basically, you're like professional, and the lady, uh, pretty woman, was talking about escorting and doing cam work and doing sugar baby work and calling it the sex industry and saying it was hard for her to get her money from PayPal, but she wasn't like doing anything illegal. Um, wasn't doing prostitution and all this stuff. And she mentioned something about concubines, biblical sense of these people being cared for and then giving this guy company when he needed, or this king company, that they were being maintained on his premises. And I feel like right now I I gotta get ready. I might be leaving before 12. I should be leaving at 12:30. If this works out, this I don't even know. Oh yeah, I gotta do my music. I should be doing my music every day. I didn't meditate. Maybe I didn't meditate for 2 days. I don't know. I use the term that I use because of Quentin Tarantino's True Romance, and she was a call girl who basically was being paid to date the main character, whose boss knew that he was single and didn't have any plans for his birthday. So basically, she was supposed to come find him at the movie theater, so she was paid to sit and watch a movie with this man. And they hung out and went to a restaurant afterwards. So basically, it's legal. You're just getting paid to date or paid to hang out, or you're compensated for your time. Just like when I'm a doctor, I paid for my time. And the intimacy part in that show, that was when they found out kind of that they were kind of in love. like she realized that this guy was awesome. And so I hesitate to discuss this kind of stuff, but um it's very common. I don't read the Portland Mercury, but when I used to flip through that, like when I was still in the old apartment with my ex-husband, I felt like there's a lot of escort services, call girls. If you get on dating websites, like no escorts, no call girls, no prostitutes. Craigslist got all weirded out by that kind of stuff. And there's sting operations. There's prostitutes. I live in low income sober housing. There'd be prostitutes on the streets outside. I was in Chinatown with my friend. I don't even know if she realized that there was a John and a hooker. She had. I don't use the term hooker as derogatory. Someone said something about that term. I just use it as an easy term. So if it's offensive, sorry. But I saw a hooker with heels and the kind of ballerina, like where it laces up the leg, wearing a mini skirt, really thin. She looked, she was white. She looked really clean. She looked a little bit classy, slutty, kind of, not like. And this guy was just a guy, and I heard them talking, and I saw them gesturing, and they're like, okay, it's time to get out of there. And it's weird because I was in downtown Chinatown in Portland at a comedy club at night, and there's a lot of people walking in front of this Harvey's, I think, comedy club. People asked my friend about a phone. People were looking for cigarettes or lighter, And then this lady was working the street there. I don't know if she had a pimp, but this stuff when you go out of your car, when you drive down the freeway, you can see it. When I drove home or to my old friend's house, there was a hooker there. And she'd yell, "Get out, wait from our apartments," That was 82nd Avenue in Portland. If you go up 82nd Avenue, it is shady as heck, and that's where I started in Portland. Was right down the street from 82nd Avenue. But I was shady. I love shady hotels. With me and my ex, it was like Bonnie and Clyde without the shootings. I don't know if they did robbery. I mean, we weren't doing illegal, like harmful behavior like that, but it was just like running and going and adventuring and up to no good. And so that was something in my past. And I had a person at church who was a stripper, and she was a stripper that never took her clothes off. And she said I think she would dance at the strip club, but she's like, these men wanted someone to talk to. These men wanted some attention or communicate with another human being, and that it was kind of like counseling. It was kind of like letting somebody talk about life and ask them about their life and give you time to not sit at home by yourself going through the stupid commercials that you're paying for on satellite TV or whatever. I don't know what it is because I don't have this kind of stuff. I do have YouTube that not on my TV. Anyways, and I think about the biblical prostitutes. I think about the one who took the guy's cane and got impregnated by her John. There's a story in the Old Testament. I don't know where. It might be in Genesis. It's earlier than where I am. I think I'm on Samuel. I'm still reading through the entire Bible. So I've done the New Testament thoroughly, and I need to finish my Old Testament reading. I don't even think I've got to Proverbs yet. I definitely don't think I've got to Psalms. That'll take me. Let's see about how fast I can get through. I'm probably on Samuel or something. Second Samuel. And so these people, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in trouble. Like Washington State, they're like, have you ever got busted for prostitution? Like they ask this stuff on the thing for your licensing, and it's like I I I personally get nervous talking about what some people consider a sex industry that people don't have professional licenses or they don't have kids or family. It's like, oh, would they go to jail? They have sugar daddies. Would someone say, oh, accuse you of prostituting? Like, I'm not prostituting. This is my boyfriend, and he's gonna bail me out of jail. Like, I get pretty nervous talking about it on YouTube because I'm not necessarily doing this stuff, but I'm looking at this stuff. Just like I felt guilty when I typed in, and I don't know which came first, which of these websites. I typed in "angry dad" trying to get me or something, and McJuggernuggets came up, and it had him and his older, I forget his older camera guy's name. They were running. They were like the mom, it was drama. The mom had left the dad, didn't have any food. He said he was going out to McDonald's to get food. Or he said he was doing something, and followed him. Jesse and that guy, and they were all like, "Oh my god, driving crazy! I know that's my dad." And they were like making sharp turns, trying to tease him in this big truck, and blah 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 blah. I was laughing. This was like right after I made no contact with my dad, and I was like, "There's no way this is real," and I was scared, but I was laughing my butt off. And I couldn't believe, because that was one of the first times I laughed, and I started getting suggestions to watch McJugger Nuggets, and my son is like, wow. And like I cuss a lot, and that's why I started thinking cuss words more and letting cuss words slip, because I used to be like a sailor. And with McJugger Nuggets, there was also I've never worn these big old chunky earrings. They're kind of intimidating to me. There was also Charles Gross somehow came up in my um stuff, and I started watching Charles Gross, and this guy is always talking about this nephew. This guy is weird. There's some guy from the East Coast of Maryland talking to me now. I don't know nothing, and that's a double negative I know about the East Coast of Maryland. It sounds like a beach. It sounds like there's crab. This guy, I feel like the only people that I talk to act like freaking my first grade adventures with men. Um, so, this is do not reuse. I feel like I reuse these. I guess they don't want you to dip it in alcohol and reuse it and contaminate everything else. So, I basically was telling you in the first video for today, Thursday, that I didn't necessarily, it wasn't today, I didn't necessarily want to do beauty contests because I thought I was better than you or I thought I was beautiful. I just thought this is the way I look, acne and all, and kind of small breasts, um, fat thighs. This is how I am. God made me a certain genetic way. My lifestyle, or my diet, or my exercise, or lack of exercise made me the rest of the way. And my hair was damaged and messed up. I didn't want to say I'm better than you, I'm prettier than you, I'm this and this and this. Even for the talent show, I'm more talented. I wanted to stop that energy of because you're black, you're not good enough. Because you're black, you're not pretty at all. It doesn't matter if you look like Barbie 10 times over and you have a silky, sexy voice. When I grew up, media told me and people in my community, even my relatives, is like, you're ugly, you're fat, you're nappy, and you stink, and people aren't going to like you, and your clothes are always mismatched. And it's like, from like, that's the way my style is. And if somebody's gonna make fun of me for my skin color or my acne scars or my nappy hair, that stuff I really couldn't change. Um, you can get hair straighteners and weaves and wigs. You can get acne medication. You could bleach your skin, but to say like what came out naturally in the world at birth in 1976 and then add on, maybe my teeth got messed up because some stuff I did, and like I have scars in places that are unattractive. And in fact, I don't necessarily shave, which I was gonna do. I don't even know where my razor is. And um, clothing, like some of that stuff you could change, but you're like inside my head, my mental is this is the way I want to dress. This is the way I feel comfortable. And you're making the one thing I can choose because I didn't choose my hair texture type for, I didn't, or 4C or whatever. I don't even know those terms. I didn't choose the dark skin, hyperpigmentation, the acne scars, and the greasy acne all over my face, and getting my school pictures and hiding them and being embarrassed and crying in the hallway after I went to the office to get my pictures. And someone said, "What's going on?" I go, "I got my pictures so horrible," and they had the big 8x10, and all I saw were all these pimples. And someone said, "Oh no, no, it's a good picture. It's a good picture. It's pretty." And I think that lady, I don't know who she was in high school. I remember walking near the gym with this, hiding it, because it's not even a little picture. It's like all the acne is right there. And it's so heartbreaking when kids have this acne and they're so beautiful and young and full of hormones. You have this acne and you're like, oh God. And then, you know, those few women, girls and boys who are blessed without it or have good insurance, and it's like they can make their acne go away, and then it's like, boom, they're beautiful. But yeah, I had all that crap, and um, I wanted to say I would have proved them wrong. I'm going to prove it to myself wrong. That I can be beautiful. I can dress up. I can be poised. We had to eat a dinner the night before one of my pageants, and it was pretty dressy. And I used all of the manners my mom taught me, and I don't know if that did any good. It was like the Miss Universe, Miss Michigan for Miss Universe contest, and I wonder if I can look it up online. What would that be? What, 1998, maybe 1997 or 98? I have no clue when that was. It's before I braided my hair, which was after my school pictures. I must have, I must have got my school pictures right after 11th grade, and then got my hair braided after I braided my hair after I went to summer camp between 11th and 12th grade. Because when I had my pictures, my hair was in a like a S curl perm. And then when I don't even have my pictures. My dog is in my pictures. I don't know how my mom kept my dog quiet during that photo shoot. And then I ended up being more of a partier and needing money to live because I have a hard time getting jobs. I'm not gonna lie. With my education and experience and a lot of volunteer service, that gives you a lot of job skills and knowing about big corporations, institutions, or companies, or even little ones. You get a broad range when you volunteer a lot. You get to know the ins and outs. If it's nonprofit, if it's food service, if you're working with vulnerable populations. Um, so I'm supposed to take it now. So I'm like that person that I gotta put that vulnerable population. I don't think I have that on my resume. I was doing the food pantry, and you also have to you get a lot of training, and you have to use a lot of like be careful what you say. Even gender doesn't matter what your socioeconomic. Because the people that go to the food, some of the people that go to the food pantry, they got like e-cards. They're paying insurance on them all. Their kids have all new clothes, haircuts, got their nails done, have all their iPads, big screen TV, game systems in their house, cable, every kid and adult, 7 people on a phone plan. Like, and then they're going to food pantry, and then they're throwing the food in the dumpster out here. And I'm trying to tell my daughter I'm gonna go get her some generic mac and cheese that I found outside, and she's gonna be like, "You don't know where that's been, Mom. I don't want it." Like, and I was like, but I go to the food pantry and I donate a couple of things my friend donated, and they took so long to do the donation. I was gonna go in the food pantry and get food for my kids, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you're too late." I was like, "I was here, 20, 30 minutes before you closed, and I'm waiting for you to grab my little bag. Like, I could have just chucked it into the freaking street and let somebody pick it up, like, like, I would have chucked it, like, break it up and let the crows eat it or something, and got in and actually, because I had lost my job, and I was so humiliated to have to go back in there, but she was such a jerk, and it was one of the most humbling days to know that I was giving something that I didn't want to open up and cook and have my kids say we're not going to eat it because I know them, when someone else could say, "Oh, I live in my grocery cart and that creamed corn made it so that I had a good Thanksgiving." You know what I mean? Instead of me just making it and having it mold in the back of the refrigerator. So that's where I am with that. I also was like, I gotta find my work clothes. I was also like doing that job I told you about. That was through a reputable company. I was gonna go to a strip bar. I talked to my brother. We were like kind of like hardcore people. I don't understand, like Quentin Tarantino style. Like he got me into the Quentin Tarantino. What is it with John Travolta? Pulp Fiction. He said, "Yo, you have to see it while it's done. It's a really good movie. Like I will take you. Like this is something you need to do. This is like what I do with my kids. Okay, you really have to see Terminator. They never watched Terminator. Like, this is like epic. You have to watch this. Mad Max 2. You have to watch it. Like this is epic." And he told me what strip bars were good and which would be the best ones if I were going to go strip. But I got this other job. I did a telephone interview. My friend did did part of the interview and said I was beautiful. and I showed him my driver's license and all that. And so um, I ended up like having some propositions to some other work, and then being with my ex, and my mom was dying, and then not calling the agency. The phone was ringing off the hook after I got hired, and I never answered it, and I never returned the calls. I felt really bad. I should have worked the job. I would have got a lot of money. I could have used that to improve my house when I bought it. But I ended up falling for my kid's dad, and we just were stuck together like glue. So I was missing class, I was missing my work. If they could have thought I died because it was a dangerous industry to go to someone's hotel or house alone in the middle of the night. Like I did actually a second one, but I had my car break down, and my friend, two of my friends went with me. It was crazy. My one friend was out of town. I don't even, she must have had a cell phone. Trying to get a hold of her. So I actually did the job twice, and then my ex-boyfriend, which wasn't my boyfriend, which was my ex-husband's best friend, was like, "Oh, you're doing this job. You're gonna be my first. I'm gonna be your first client, because I got dibs on you." And then I was like, "Oh heck no, you're a jerk because you're cheating on me." And then then the kid's dad was in the picture, and I also was intimate with his other best friend. And back then, it was like I said, hippie Mia. It wasn't something that anyone batted an eyelash at. Oh, whatever. Or it's like, oh, you had truth or dare and you had to make out with a chick. Whatever. Like, that was the 90s for me. It was like, whatever. Um, I can't believe that I was like that because I'm so, like, caring. But I was still the same caring, loving person. I just didn't. If I was, like, talking to a church, I would say I didn't have moral values, but I had moral values. About, like, when you have a boyfriend and you're young and you're hormonal and you just kiss and then one thing leads to another, you're not necessarily saying, God, I'm gonna be a sinner according to the church right now. I'm gonna be like it's hard to say crimes against people like you're gonna go in with a machine gun and shoot up an institution premeditated. No, you just like someone touches you, you kiss, you hug, and the next thing you know you wake up and you're like, oh my God, whether you're drunk or not. So that, if if God thinks I'm sinning now and sin earlier, then I know that I'm a sinner. That's why I believe in Jesus. But someone says if you believe you're sinning and you have to repent. If you have to repent, then you're gonna need to stop whatever behaviors you're doing. But sometimes it's like I don't want to call myself a sinner because I don't want to repent. Because if I say that I'm not innocent in the eyes of God, then I'm gonna know that I'm like bad man. It just gets like tripped out. So what I do in my life now, that's why I said I'm ashamed of these terminologies. What I do in my life now is say, God, please guide me what to do. And when God had told me about being like the Venus and all that, that's when stuff got really weird. Um, with what the church was telling me versus what my higher power is telling me about being who I am, and it's like a sickening way, like a pedophilia way, like think like oh it's like that eighth grader, when I knew eighth graders that were having sex with 20 and 30 something year old, maybe 40-year-old men. It's like someone's gonna get this girl liquored up, give her some pot, and spread her legs in a bedroom, and all the men are gonna take turns humping a child like that. No, like sometimes I feel like I'm degrading myself or that I'm being treated that way. But it's like as an adult, it's like you do something consensual, you ask God to guide you, and you spend time. I have a picture, and this is really embarrassing. And I don't have a lot of people watching my videos. I have a picture in my journal, and I had a vision I don't even remember if there was. I think there was multiple pictures, but the one I remember is like a pond, and me and the guy that I like were embracing, and I was really bad at drawing this. We were embracing, and I had to find my uniform for work. We were embracing, and we were in this pond, and I don't know what I was wearing. Maybe something cute, like a fairy nymph clothes. And we had this from IKEA. We threw them away. They were leaves that were supposed to go over the kid's bed, and they were really heavy and really metally. And then the fabric, like parachute fabric, you're supposed to attach it to the wall, but we couldn't because we weren't allowed to put holes in the wall. And I got me each of the kids one. I thought it would be cute. I got my kids a couple of things like that, and someone's like, "Oh, just throw them away." I was like, "Oh, that's the only thing I bought to improve our home." I felt so sick throwing that away because we could have put holes in the wall here. I wish we still had them actually. To tell you the truth, I could have at least given them away, but I ended up with this picture somewhere in one of my journals where we're embracing. It's like I'm a fairy nymph, and this guy is holding me. We're on this like lily pad with a leaf over us, blocking the sun and making us sheltered. And my heart feels like God saying, "You're a loving being, and you could share that love." Like, and I hate to use terms like hookers and call girl and escort and polyamory and non-monogamy. Like these words make me feel, as a Christian going to church, it makes me feel dirty, you know. And it's like God could say, you can embrace a friend and have a friend with benefits and share a session with somebody where you're sharing the deepest love and you're not even married and you're not even in a relationship with this person. And it's really hard for me to say this right now. I had been alone for 15 years single, and I hadn't even, I kissed one guy after 14 years, after 13 years, I kissed one guy once and made out and all this other stuff. And then nothing happened for 2 whole years. I didn't even touch a guy or go out with a guy or hug a guy. I did go out with someone in the end of fall last year, or in the midst of fall, but it's just like thinking of who I was and what God told me after I went no contact with my dad was a Venus thing to look that up. And she's basically laying there beautiful and has her kids and has her lovers and has her boyfriend and has this drama. But she's the love goddess and she's got boyfriends and not one monogamous partner. And it's weird that God had brought that up because the dirty part that I feel about ashamed is that church teaching, like most people I knew that had kids out of wedlock were hardcore conservative Christians that were like against that kind of stuff. And then they were doing that stuff and then boom, look, you're having a baby and you're criticizing everyone. It's like I would be like, hey, I'm a Christian and I do a real time God and God tells me if God told me to go to McDonald's and a guy with a yellow hat's gonna come in and don't even get his name and drag him and use your credit card to get a hotel, then like that's what God is telling me. Like that's the kind of and people would say, no, your God's not telling you that. Like how do you know that? Like literally, I could probably go to McDonald's right now and see someone in a yellow hat and be like, like you know what I mean? Like you don't even know if that was a premonition or a prophecy, but that was just an example. It makes me sick. I'm gonna show you real fast my my necklace that I'm working on is not done yet, but maybe I could get it done right now. I'm gonna go get dressed. There's just some more detox, bedtime tea. I'm gonna give this to Ella
or something to donate it. Well, that was simple. It looks simple and it's hard to close this back up. I just feel like, I guess talking about this made me feel like the shame of someone. Okay, that lady, pretty woman. How do you tell friends and family? How does she tell them that she's a sugar baby? Like maybe you just want to tell them that you're dating an older man or this or this or this. And I was like, I've never been a sugar baby. I've never had people give me money for except for that dancing and that massage date. I've never had that kind of situation where I'm beautiful and I text somebody in Spain and they send me money because I text them 5 times a week and send them pictures of me in my bathing suit. I've never had it where I had a dating website and then said, "Oh my God, I'll pay you to be with me. You're so beautiful. You're so hot." Like I've never had that. Someone's like, Are you trying to be a sugar baby?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe." I was like, "Actually, I would not say no if someone wanted to give me money, but it's never happened before." And this guy never talked to me again. But I was like, basically, I just said I'm looking for someone who's generous, and I copied that from someone who was trying to find a sugar daddy, and I was like, what? Like, I'm not gonna say no. I might say no. I've said no a lot of times because I don't like people treating me with disrespect. So that's where I am with that. I'm gonna come back when I'm dressed. Alright, so I'm not dressed yet. I am so tired. Everybody wants something from me. Technically, I could lay here until freaking 5:15, throw on some freaking clothes, and leave. But I'm waiting for this guy to tell me if 1 o'clock's gonna work. So I feel like he's gonna tell me when he's gonna be home, and that I will rush over there. I want my daughter to get her own ride. I'm like, if I could just like sleep, or I could have gone to a meeting and exercise and come back and take a nap and go to work. But I was thinking the other day that I wanted to be doing some other things like watching movies. And we're supposed to do game night, me and my buddy, and we're just kind of like doing the same old. And I'm still getting fat, which is not. Seems like it's. My daughter asked something. Does that have to do with this same topic? She's talking about. I'm talking about my son's test. Like, technically, because it has to do with school, his tests and his classes and all that. Um, so I am going to get up and show you what clothes are in my freaking um thing that I pulled from downstairs. Oh, I'm so sore. I probably should have slept. Like, I probably should have told my daughter to get a freaking ride, and I should have slept because I feel so sick right now, guys. Like, I will not lie, I feel like crap. And I didn't even want to go get my kid at 3:30, and I was like, yes, I don't have to be to work until 6. I get to rest and do some billing and do this and do that. And did I do any of that? Heck no. Alright, so why is this? I did it on purpose. Alright, so what's in the bag? Alright, so I have a sock. I have a hairband, so this stuff got washed. I've been using dryer sheets this year because the guy that I like doesn't like the way I smell, or at least it might actually be from the dehydrator. I thought it was from my animal because it was like pungent, but I haven't had my dehydrator. He's hinted something about it, about not having that problem, so I don't know if it's from the clothing being washed, wearing new clothes, not keeping my coats and stuff stored by the rabbit, or using fabric softener or fabric stuff. Okay, so let's just stop talking about that for a minute. Alright, hair stuff is gonna go there for now. So I have my Dickies skirt, and the hem is coming out. I hate when stuff falls apart. You see the hem coming out there in the pocket. Actually, that's bad thing because that means stuff can fall out of the pocket. So I have to be careful about that. Alright, so this is going to go in the closet. I'm just going to put the socks in as is. So here's a couple of pairs of underwear. I really like these underwear. Like, I like I'm going to wear this bralette that I got. I don't even know if I'm doing anything. I'm just going to wear this because it's cute. I see people in these cute clothes and I get jealous because it's like the style. It doesn't matter if you're 200 pounds or 20 pounds underweight or what. And it's like, I see these cute clothes and people have like all these designs in the back and it looks sexy. And I'm just like, you're only wearing that because it's trendy. Like, this is the thong. This is, I don't know. This is like my first thong. I don't know because I ordered something recently and I might have got confused. Oh, here's a blue bra. So this is nice. This is Walmart. And I have some polka dot underwear that gives me a wedge. And I have like, I don't know if it's a thong or something else from Walmart that's missing. These new jeans stink like mothballs. These ones don't smell good. So I'm going to put these over here. I need pants for work. I don't know. I have like 5 pairs of black pants. I have no idea what any of them are. I was going to wear this red tank top, but I don't think I'm going to wear it. I have like nothing, guys. I'm like so scattered. Alright, so I have some more random socks. My son got bigger. We ended up with a bunch of white socks. I don't know if these are his old socks or my old socks or family pack. I had some socks for homeless people. And I thought, oh, I should take a Sharpie and write on everything like M for me, you know what I mean? Like write the kids' initials on there. So let's first try to find a pair of pants so I can get this robe off. I might end up in shorts. My jean shorts are going to fall. Let's see if I have any pudgy pants. Let's see what I have. Decent. Overall, oh, there's like a pair of pants. So I have nothing. I have nothing. I have like all the clothes washed at this point in time. Like, there's like no dirty clothes downstairs. Actually, there might be a couple that I just put out there. Shoot. I have these pudgy pants. And I didn't wash my work. I was gonna wear like my tight work pants. They're too tight. I've gained so much weight. Oh, is this the match to the sock? Or is this the first sock? I think these are like super pudgy pants. And my Irish, I'm waiting for people to contact me back. Contact Loose in Mountain Park. Okay, I have my Irish girl shirt, which I don't really want to wear. My bralette and a pair of drawers. I am going to stand back here. Actually, I need to shave. I'm gonna be yelling. I lost my razor, which is stupid. My ankle is hurting really bad. Where are my clothes? I washed everything. I should have like some. Maybe I didn't wash everything. Alright, I don't know where my razor is. I'm not gonna dry shave my legs. I did dry shave my legs. There's a bug on the floor. If it is, I'm killing it. Whatever it is,
Hopefully it's dead inside this piece of paper that I'm wadding up. I have no idea where my electric razor is. I dumped all these papers on the floor too. So these are dirty. I wore this shirt. I don't know where my work clothes are, people. Like, here's some work clothes. They all smell like pizza. Alright, so I'm gonna stand back here and get dressed. The thing about this, I don't have my deodorant on here. I can always shave. I can always find, like, remove the clothes, even wash my armpits and shave, right? So, I really want to. Like, I am supposed to be keeping that razor inside of my caboodle so that it's there with my cosmetics. Oh, I need a female product too, so I gotta run. My son's in the house, so I gotta not run out there without clothes on. Hopefully you can't see anything. I should have paused it. So I'm gonna as soon as I can get in the bathroom. If I get a message that says 1 o'clock works, then I'm pretty much gonna grab my what do you say? I gotta find a work shirt. I should have freaking 3. I'm gonna run out as soon as I can be shown again. I'm pretty much wearing like super stupid clothing right now. Like, but then again, I don't even know if I'm gonna be hanging out. I have like a corset top thingy. These are like super pudgy pants, but I gained 10 pounds, so you know me. I just they're like capris for regular people, but they're long for me. Those are my favorite. So yeah, nobody contacts me. Um, let me pause and go and put deodorant on, get my female product, and then I was gonna go downstairs or something. I'll go down there. I can't remember what for. Different type of thing happened when nobody's even responding to me right now. I get this like vibe. I'm gonna say it like when I'm someone else, like my kid or this guy or somebody. Oh, I want to do something. Like I want to do something when I want to do it, but you guys don't seem to do it when I want to do it. So I always compromise my own schedule to help these people, and I'm like, this is my life. You know? I don't even have any cute clothes on today, and so I'm like, do I have a skirt drawer? Yeah, I do. I never wear these. They're like, why am I steampunk? Oh, I want to wear that to my buddy's house and do my steampunk thing. So I'm just like, dude, like, I, when I'm on my own, I can do adequate rest, and then I get up and am able to do what I need to do because I'm rested and I can think through it. But when I have to work or somebody else wants me to do something, it's like I get to where I'm. Something weird happened the other day. It's the article of clothing. Simple. I'm not gonna say it. It's a simple article. And my person's like, I'm gonna take this off. I've known them since January, and they never really did that on purpose. And I'm like thinking, maybe they want that part of their body rubbed because I mess with this person. My buddy has a really nice body line. I try to tell myself. My friend was, well, my coworker was justifying his actions. I was like, you're yelling because people are eating dinner at freaking 11:40. It's like you're doing like the same thing, dude. Why does it keep looking like there's blood on my crap? Maybe it is. It probably is blood. Huh? It's like, this is stupid, guys. But I'm like, he's like, oh, to justify it. Like, you justify something. So he goes, so that it does, so that I feel like I can wake up in the morning and not just die, you know, because you're like so depressed, you just die, you know, because you're like, I wore this to me. Oh, I wore it to work too. This is gonna be dirty. I wore it. I didn't feel like taking all my clothes off and changing in the
parking lot, so I left it on just to do my work clothes over this. Some more beads. So I'm not hearing back from anybody, which is really disturbing. So this is eBay stuff. I can go over here with my eBay stuff. Oh, it's like hot all of a sudden. Maybe it's because I have all the lights on. So this is dirty. This is clean. I wore it for a couple hours today. Unshowered. I still don't know if I wore that blue belt. I don't remember wearing it. My belts are heavy, and my kid's belt, and my belt. I'm gonna wear a belt. I'm gonna wear this belt. Nobody is contacting me back, and I'm like, it's 12:30. What am I supposed to freaking do? This play date might not happen. I might actually just go to sleep. But I get to where I do stuff, and I put clothes away, and I do laundry, and I'm like stimulated because somebody wants me to do something, or they might want me to do something soon, and so I'm like, what's the word I'm trying to find? I'm like, okay, I better get off my lazy butt. Oh yeah, this guy was justifying. So I'm like, oh, this guy that I like knows that I have my Friday, Saturday off. And they usually never, like, once in a while, they'll hang out. Before, there was a while he was chasing me that we hung out, like, all of those, like, every day. It doesn't matter. Work day, non-work day, nighttime, daytime, like. And then I'm like, what happened to those days? Like, this guy was just, like, super hyper about wanting to be with me, and then they're like, oh, I'm dating other people, and I'm looking for someone that's not you. And I was like, what happened to that? Like, did the newness wear off? Because you were, like, you had thought you wanted to be with me, and I was like, he wants to be my forever partner. The forever partner, this person's goofy. The forever partner is, like, not necessarily my idea. It's like God instilled it in me. After some time, I felt like the beginning, first day, there was so much in common that I couldn't believe it. So I've never had that much in common with someone. And the things that we're not having in common, we're complete opposites, like skin color, eye color. Blue eyes, mine are black. Him light blonde hair, mine black and gray. Um, you know, he's super tall, I'm super short. Like, but the other things about our kids, our family, the color of our cars, the way our house is set up, all that stuff, the fact that our kids are biracial, all that stuff is like, what the F, dude? Like, that is like a joke. I feel like God is laughing, like, I just met you with your yin and yang. You guys just met some random way. You see me going through the online dating thing, swipe right, left, or whatever. I don't even do swipe left because I can't even think. I have to do yes or star or no star or whatever, check mark, whatever it is. I cannot think. And sometimes I just randomly like someone, I like accidentally swipe them the wrong way, or I don't like someone, I actually swipe the right way, or I'm just like not paying attention, or I swipe everybody, or I swipe everybody no. Like, I get that whole like thing, and so somewhere how in the cosmos, because I feel like on Tinder, and I think OkCupid will bring it back around when you say no to somebody. I don't know if you unlike them if they ever come back, which is kind of sad because some of those guys I was supposed to meet, and they were totally control freaks. They were very impatient. I work a lot. I have my kids. Some people say never date a single mom. I work nights. That turns a lot of people off. I guess they want to hang out. Like, I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't talk to me because he wants to hang out at night on summer after work. He's probably finding a woman who works 9 to 5, who wears professional clothes. Like, I'm like sad. I'm like jealous that I'm not available to do stuff at night um, during the week. I'm like jealous that someone could be like, oh, I can go out to a restaurant because Mia's going to be at work. But, Mia might have a day off and might be going out with my kids or picking up my kids and, well, you think you're going to sneak around. But then, hey, we're not in a relationship. So what I wanted to say, I'm like picking dry skin off my feet, and I think I'm going to stop now. What I'm going to say is people keep telling me, you're not valuing yourself. You're letting these guys walk all over you. You need to break it off with them. You know, you especially if they find out that the guys that I talk to are all white. They get real mad. Like, oh, it's a black guy, right? He's living in North Portland. He's living in the projects or something. He's smoking crack, driving a hoopty car. People just want to assume that. And if they find out it's none of the above, they're going to be like, what? They find out people that I date have a lot of money, live in the suburbs, and are professionals, actually make money, more money than I do as a professional. Um, it's kind of crazy. It's like they automatically say, no, yeah, you shouldn't be a doctor. You shouldn't be dating white people. You shouldn't be dating someone who has a job, car, and a house, and kids that are well taken care of. Like, no. And these people will tell me this, and then they'll be like, I'm pretty, I'm cute, I have a hot body, I have nice clothes in a luxury car, and I attract attention, and guys look at me, and it's like I'm dating someone, and I'm better than you, and this is great. And then they're like, you suck, you don't know what you're doing. And then these people's lives fall apart, or they turn every guy off. I'm like, dude, you're 77 years old, like, or you're 71 or something, like 50 something year old guys are asking you out, or 60-year-old with beer bellies and losing their hair, and you're like, oh my god, I'm too good for him. I'm not gonna date that. Like, you think you're cool because you're on online dating. Like, they're like, well, what if I want to have sex? It's not fair. I was like, dude, you could take your brand new iPhone and click the selfie. You just came out from public. You look great. Your house is clean. Take your freaking selfie and put it on every freaking free website you can. Like, who gives a rat's? But like, you have people hitting on you. You're 70 something years old. You're completely wrinkled. You have a fake hair color, and you're sick. And you're saying that this guy next to you has a beer gut and has a cute smile and a condo, and he goes on vacation all the time and takes care of his grandkids. You're saying that he's not good enough for you. Like, if you don't like him, I tell the people, if you don't like him, give him my number. I'll go out with him. Like, he's cute. He's like a teddy bear, and he's got his crap together, and he's got a level head. Like, I seriously have told my friends that. Like, you're trying to find a freaking 33-year-old, male that has muscle and stamina, and you're 70 something years old, and you're a cougar, and I don't care if you're a cougar, but don't yell at me because I can't even find a 33-year-old to date. Like, don't yell at me because I'm hanging out with somebody within 15 years of my age in either direction. Like, because I only met four of these people in freaking a year, like, in real life. Like, it's kind of like these people, even if they're 70 something and they're blonde and blue eyed and wrinkled, they'd probably still get a lot more, way more messages and way more men than me because that's status quo of, oh, look at me, I have my luxury car and my girlfriend has luxury car and she's blonde hair, blue eyed. And, like, people will look for that. That's their style. I kind of want to go put that one shirt on that I see. Actually, I have a White House black market. God's like, no, don't do it. I'm not hearing anything about one, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be. I'm just gonna say what's up because it's now time to go. What's up? I'm just gonna stare at my phone. Again, I have another hour-long video. I'm having deja vu like big time. It's either I was in this position doing the same thing. I might have been doing this in 2000. I'm having big time deja vu. It was a dream, and it ended up with this list, and I had to go get my book, and I was looking for like one name or a list of names or something like that. Sometimes I don't want to be on their message thing. I was like picked my feet, and I'm putting my hands on my eyes. He might not be able to do it at one. Oh, he didn't respond. Oh, I hate when that happens. He's like totally ignoring me. It happened to me when I was out of town at like 9, 10 a.m. It's like, what are you doing? When are we gonna hang out? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'm out of town. I'm like, I'll be back at 8. And then what happens at 8? Oh, I'm busy. Like, I just got in the car and went out of town to go do something fun without you. So bad. It's like, are you punishing me? So, what I wanted to state, so I was talking about call girls, escorts, sugar relationships. Um, oh, he's already at home and he didn't tell me? Are you kidding? I can't believe that he totally, like, didn't confirm. With, I'm like, oh, you're at home sitting there, and I'm just, like, looking at the clock. So, I was like, oh, I know how to work men. And I was like, I didn't mean it like that. And I was like, well, I have my son. He helps me a lot with how men think. He is isolated. He doesn't talk to men. He doesn't see men. He doesn't socialize. And he sees teachers sometimes and um, counselors and stuff, but it's very rare. And in school, it was mostly women teachers when he was younger. And Mr. Hermans and Mr. Rude. And did he ever make it to Mr. Brown Hair? Yeah, he had brown hair. I always call him the guy from Criminal Minds. There's a teacher in the Odyssey that looks like the leader in Criminal Minds and Prentice. There's a woman that reminds me of Prentice. And I was just like, why are you like Criminal Minds? They need Penelope and or Garcia and Morgan and the other dude. Oh yeah, and a Doc. He just like let's just make up my own school. I wouldn't have a character in there. They did have a black woman once that wasn't she an astronaut or something? And then she like quit her job to go work in the FBI, and then she did something shady as heck, and she had to quit. I don't know if she was trying to come on to somebody or she did something shady. She either was forced to quit or quit or something. Anyways, so I'm going to grab an orange and a granola bar and a banana. I still have my lemon and my honey and all that fizzy water. I'm gonna grab my ice. I just grabbed the bag I had yesterday that has a lemon. I'll grab an ice pack. I'll probably just grab a second banana since I'm not gonna. Actually, I'm coming home before work. I think, unless my daughter decides. So I have men tell me how they feel or if something irritates them. I mean, something I do irritates them. Some of it may be just natural, and I'm not able to do anything about it. But I'm a people pleaser, but I'm also not. I don't take getting walked all over anymore. So I like. I gotta go. I had two headbands, and I don't know where the other one is now. And so I basically um. This is so mismatched. I basically how do I how the heck am I even trying to say what I'm trying to say right now? I'm just trying to find the other headband. Um, let me find it. At this point, I'm going to be running out of the house. Out in my, he's probably waiting for me to show up at 1 and we didn't. Oh, here it is. It like matches the book. He's probably waiting for me to show up. I keep wearing these. I keep wearing these ones. So I was like testing this a couple times, and that's stupid to test people, especially knowing their sign and what irritates them, and especially if someone else knows astrology and it's like, "Whoa, be careful of doing this with that sign. You're going to tick them off and they might never talk to you." And I tested that and they almost didn't talk to me again, and that was my fault. So I knew better and I was told. So I feel like because I'm not trying to be cocky and privileged, I'm still a woman and I'm still a single mom and all this stuff, I feel like I was like that person who was like, hey, this person, like I'm kind of call myself a tomboy. This person likes this, or this person likes to do this, or they like to talk about this, but they don't like to talk about that. So don't talk about what they don't like to talk about. Like, how do you feel when someone does that to you? And so some of these women are like, oh, too good for the guys that are asking them out, and they're alone, and they're not getting on online dating, and they're mad at me because I'm making a fool of myself, putting my picture out to the world, and I work in public and in sales and stuff in my neighborhood where I have my pictures up, and people looked real freaking familiar, and I was like, oh my god, do I know you from somewhere? Yeah, maybe. I don't like my hair like this though. I don't like the red in the back. I look like a freaking nun. Bye.